diverse cuisines, exotic flavors, and exciting recipes from every corner of the globe. Lunch Global.
It is important for individuals to consume protein every day. Daily protein intake plays a role in keeping your cells in good shape and should be part of your daily health maintenance plan. Protein is found throughout the body, in muscles, bone, skin, hair, and virtually every other body part or tissue. It makes up the enzymes that empower many chemical reactions and the hemoglobin that carries oxygen in your blood. At least 10,000 different proteins make you what you are and keep you that way. Protein is made from 20 plus basic building blocks called amino acid because we don't store amino acids. Our body make them in two different ways, either from scratch or by modifying others. And of course, we all know that it's very, very important to make sure that all times you eat very, very, very well. The National Academy of Medicine recommends that adult gets a minimum of 0.8 grams of protein for every kilogram of body weight per day, or just about 7 grams for every 20 pounds of body weight. For a 140-pound person, that means about 50 grams of protein each day, and for a 200-pound person, that means about 70 grams of protein each day. The National Academy of Medicine also sets a wide range of acceptable protein intake, anywhere from 10% to 35% of calories each day. Beyond that, there's relatively little solid information on the ideal amount of protein in the diet or the healthiest target for calories contributed by protein. In an analysis conducted at Harvard among more than 130 men and women who were followed for up to 32 years, the percentage of calorie from total protein intake was not related to overall mortality or the specific cause of death. However, the source of protein is very important, and of course it was very, very important. Welcome to another episode here on Lunch Global. I am Chung Annamel Joseph, and today we'll be looking at the importance of having to eat protein. Let's also understand why protein is important as well. And of course, you know, whatever you eat, you have to learn to eat in moderation. And today we're also going to be looking at those measurements, those moderation that we have to look out for when it comes to protein. Just because it's protein does not mean you have to eat it so much. You know, in consuming your carbohydrate, you have to consider the quantity. In consuming your protein, you have to consider your quantity. In fact, any minerals, any vitamin we're taking, quantity is very important, because combining all of this together results to a certain amount of calorie that your body needs, and you do not want to overeat the calorie intake you're supposed to have for each day. So we are going to be taking a very short break, and when we come back, we're going to continue from there. Stay tuned.
Introducing Lunch Global, a culinary journey around the world. Tune in to Global Television with Chung Annamel Joseph for a mouth-watering experience like never before. Join in as we explore diverse cuisines, exotic flavors, and exciting recipes from every corner of the globe. Lunch Global. Introducing Lunch Global, a culinary journey around the world. Tune in to Global Television with Chung Annamel Joseph for a mouth-watering experience like never before. Join in as we explore diverse cuisines, exotic flavors, and exciting recipes from every corner of the globe. Lunch Global.
It's important to know that millions of people worldwide, especially young children, don't get enough protein due to food insecurity. The effects of protein deficiency and malnutrition range in severity from growth failure and loss of muscle mass to decreased immunity, weakening of the heart and respiratory system, and of course death. However, it's uncommon for healthy adults in the US and most other developed countries to have a deficiency because there's an abundance of plant and animal-based food full of protein. In fact, many in the US are consuming more than enough protein, especially from animal-based food. It's all about protein package. When we eat food for protein, we also eat everything that comes alongside it, the different fats, fiber, sodium, and more. It's this protein package that's likely to make a difference for the health. To call out but a few examples of this, now a 4 ounce of broiled sirloin steak is a great source of protein, and that is about 33 grams worth, but it also delivers about 5 grams of saturated fat. A 4 ounce ham steak with 22 grams of protein has only 1.6 grams of saturated fat, but it's loaded with 1,500 milligrams worth of sodium. 4 ounces of grilled sockeye salmon has about 30 grams of protein, naturally low in sodium, and contains just over 1 gram of saturated fat. Salmon and other fatty fish are also excellent source of omega-3 fat, a type of fat that's especially good for the heart. So if you want your heart to be more healthy, then you have to go in most of the time with salmon because of the level at which the omega-3, the level at which they have the source of omega-3. And a cup of cooked lentils provide about 18 grams of protein and 15 grams of fiber, and it has virtually no saturated fat or sodium. And I remember one of our episodes we're talking about how it is important to eat lentils, and you know, we focus more on beans. I think they are all legumes, they all work the same, but then lentils are even more healthy than beans. And I noticed that here in Nigeria we're more focused on eating more of beans. Maybe probably the lentils are a little bit high in price, but then we have to now learn to eat anything that is healthy, not because I think we need to get over having to eat just what we know all the time. We need to make research, we need to listen, we need to study, we need to really understand what we need, what the body needs. If the fact that you need to eat protein every day, no, we are focused on, oh, because I need to eat protein every day, I have to eat boiled egg every morning, or I have to eat scrambled eggs every morning, or maybe I have to eat a little bit of maybe beef or goat's meat or chicken and all of that. Protein is very important, but protein is not only found in maybe fleshy food like I mean the meat, and there are other legumes and of course other vegetables that when you eat, trust me, there it's a fruits as well, there's like a high amount of protein. And then when you're combining all of these, not all the times, at all times, your combination of food means a whole lot. And then it helps you to watch what you're supposed to eat, it helps you count on the calorie you're supposed to eat, and it also enables you eat super healthy. Now I'm going to be sharing some ideas with you and some reasons why you should eat protein every day. Now, first of all, protein reduces appetite and hunger level. The 3 macronutrients, which are fats, carbs, and protein, affect your body in different ways. Studies show that protein is by far the most filling. It helps you feel more full with less food. This is partly because protein reduces your level of hunger hormone ghrelin, and it also boosts the level of peptide, a hormone that makes you feel full, that affects on appetite, can be powerful. In one study, increasing protein intake from 15% to 30% of calories made overweight women eat 441 fewer calories each day without intentionally restricting anything. So if you need to lose weight or belly fat, consider replacing some of your carbohydrate food and fat foods with protein. It can be simple, or it can be as simple as making your potato or rice servings smaller while adding a few extra bites of meat or fish. And that's why people who are on keto, if you notice, people who are on keto, what they eat most of the time is vegetables and protein. Now, it can be kale, it can be lettuce, it can be carrot, it can be any vegetable of your choice, and then you can inculcate that with your protein as well, and then maybe nice fruit juice and less sugar, less carbonated drink. And if you're looking for, or maybe you are overweight and then you're already having the fat in there and then you're trying to work on yourself, now that's why some people really when they are working out, when they are at the gym, they watch what they eat. It's not because they're trying to just do the whole gym thing. It's because that helps you lose the fat, right? And then it keeps you're still full, you don't still feel hungry, but you're not eating too much. And that's why it's important to eat protein all the time, because it really helps you when it comes to eating. It regulates what you eat, it keeps you full for longer, and a little quantity of protein can combine with other things. Maybe you can have, of course, we're not saying you should cut down on carbohydrate. Carbohydrate is very important. You can't cut down on, and you can't cut it out entirely. You can't cut fat out entirely. You can't cut fat, carbohydrate entirely. But what you need to do is just to have it in small quantity. I mean, small serving. So if you want to eat your rice, your meat, your vegetables, then the rice should come in small serving, and then you can include your vegetables and of course either meat or fish or even egg. Now, in summary, a high protein diet reduces hunger. It also helps you eat fewer calories. This is because of the improved function of weight regulating hormones, and because of that you don't feel hungry after eating just little food. And sometimes you're wondering, but I didn't really eat much today, I just ate maybe chicken in the afternoon, and maybe I took mango juice or any other juice, and then I'm feeling very full. Now, that is the magic that protein does in your body. Protein also increases muscle mass and strength. Protein is the building block of your muscles. Therefore, eating adequate amounts of protein helps you maintain your muscle mass and promotes muscle growth when you do strength training. Numerous studies shows that eating plenty of protein can help increase muscle mass and strength. If you're physically active, lifting weights or trying to gain muscles, you need to make sure you're getting enough protein. Keeping protein intake high can also help prevent muscle loss during weight loss. So that is what proteins do. It helps in building your protein, it helps in building your strength, and then when you eat so much protein, then that's when, if you're somebody who does a very tedious job, hard work, the working out thing, people who are so keen about working on their body, building muscles. Now, protein helps those muscles even grow well, and of course it helps them grow very healthy. And if you're somebody who gets to do tedious job, then you need a lot of protein, because it keeps you very active, and then it helps in restoring your strength. And you don't just eat anyhow just because you feel, oh yeah, at this point I'm doing this so much and all I need is food, let me just eat the food so that I will burn all the calorie. Now, it's important to burn the calorie, and at the same time it is important to eat the right food, so that when you're burning the calorie, you will not end up burning your life out. So you should take note of that. Now, protein is also good for your bones, and ongoing math perpetuates the idea that that's protein. So mainly animal protein is bad for your bones. This is based on the idea that protein increases acid loads in the body, leading to calcium leaching from your bones in order to neutralize the acid. However, most long-term studies indicate that protein, including animal protein, has major benefit for bone health. People who eat more protein tend to maintain bone mass better as they age, and have much lower risk of osteoporosis and fractures. This is especially important for women who are at high risk of osteoporosis from menopause. Eating plenty of protein and staying active is a good way to help prevent that from happening. So to note that, when you are eating protein, it's all about age. Eating doesn't reflect on you for the moment. If you're young, if you're at your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, or even your 50s, really, sometimes you don't even tend to see the result of whatever it is you're eating. But as you age, it's a process. The more you get, the older you get, the weaker your immune system becomes. So if you are getting age, there are certain things that you need to eat. Now, for older people, sometimes when all those sicknesses that comes with old age strikes, when you go to the hospital, they will tell you to cut down on red meat, cut down on, that's the beef. You should eat more of fish, more of chicken, more of maybe turkey, more of like boiled eggs, and then other food that contain protein. They tell you, okay, you can go in with beans that has an amount of protein and of course an amount of carbohydrate. You should rather go in with those food instead of red meat, because that isn't healthy for you at all. Yes, it's protein. Protein is good for you. It's very important in your body. But at the same time, it also has its own disadvantage. Whatever has an advantage, yeah, it tends to have disadvantage as well. So going forward, you have to understand what are the meats I'm supposed to eat. Just because it's protein does not mean that you have to eat anything protein. Anything you see, just eat them with excitement because they are protein. No, you have to be intentional when it comes to picking what you eat. And as you age, do not forget, you have to cut down on certain proteins and focus on the ones that are more healthy. Protein also reduces cravings and desire for late night snacking. Now, one of the reasons why you don't feel the late night snacking things, because it keeps you fuller for longer, just as I mentioned earlier. It helps you, it regulates what you eat. Protein makes you full because the digestion process is actually very slow, and that's why you feel that that feeling of being very, very full even after you've eaten for like maybe hours ago, and then you still have the energy. Now, a food craving is different from normal hunger. It is not just about your body needing energy or nutrients, but your brain needing a reward. Yet, cravings can be incredibly hard to control. The best way to overcome them may be to prevent them from occurring in the first place. So, and one of the best prevention method is to increase your protein intake. One study in overweight men showed that increasing protein to 25% of calories reduces cravings by 60% and the desire to snack at night by half. Likewise, a study in overweight adolescent girls find that eating a high-protein breakfast reduced cravings and late-night snacking. This may be mediated by the improvement in the function of dopamine, one of the main brain hormones involved in cravings and addiction. So eating more protein is likely to reduce the cravings and the desire to eat late night. Merely having a high protein breakfast may have a powerful effect. So if you're having your breakfast, to make it even much more easier, is for you to have a high protein in the mornings, and that's why you can go in with oats, your milk, and then you can go in with your scrambled eggs or your boiled eggs or even your grilled chicken with maybe a little bit of bread to just have a nice combination. And when you have that combo, trust me, you don't have to just be struggling with so much food during the day. Now, protein also boosts metabolism and increases fat burning. Fat burning eating can boost your metabolism for a short while. That's because your body uses calorie to digest and make use of nutrients in food. This is referred to as thermic effect of food. However, not all foods are the same in this regard. In fact, protein has much higher thermic effect than fat or carbohydrate, 20 to 35% compared to 5 to 15%. High protein intake has been shown to significantly boost metabolism and increase the number of calories you burn. This can amount to 80 to 100 more calories burned each day. In fact, some research suggests you can burn even more. In one study, a high protein group burned 260 more calories per day than a lower protein group. That's equivalent to an hour of moderate intensity exercise per day. So a food in high protein and high protein intake can boost your metabolism significantly, and it will also help you burn more calorie throughout the day. So when you have more protein, when you eat more protein and you have more protein in you, it keeps you energetic, and then it makes you work super effective. If you have a very stressful kind of job or a work that involves you use so much strength, then you need to eat protein. And if you're missing out on that, trust me, you are not doing good to yourself. You have to watch it. You have to try and eat more of protein. And now I understand, like, we're having issues, say, oh, there's no money, things are expensive in the market. But some of these things is intentionality, and it's for you to know that your health is the reason. If you're not healthy, you cannot get the money, and if you're not healthy, you cannot do the work. So if you're missing out on eating right, please, from this day forward, try and eat very, very right. Thank you for your time with me here on Lunch Global today. I am going to be putting a stop here today. In case you want to share anything with us today or you want to know more, you can check us on all our social media platforms, and of course follow us on YouTube. Thank you for your time with me today. I am still Chung Annamel Joseph. Catch up with you on Friday at 12:30 again. Enjoy the rest of your day, and bye.
Introducing Lunch Global, a culinary journey around the world. Tune in to Global Television with Chung Annamel Joseph for a mouth-watering experience like never before. Join in as we explore diverse cuisines, exotic flavors, and exciting recipes from every corner of the globe. Lunch Global.